this week, we learned that one of the largest groups paying for these ads regularly takes in money from foreign corporations. So groups that receive foreign money are spending huge sums to influence American elections. And they won't tell you where the money for their ads come from.
Does the President of the United States have such little regard for the office that he holds that he goes out there and makes these kind of baseless charges against his political enemies? This is just beyond the pale. How dare the President do this?
Well, President Obama last week and the Democratic National Committee in an ad are alleging in part that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is funding domestic political activities with foreign money, or suggesting that at least. Senior advisor David Axelrod was asked about that this weekend.
But this part about foreign money, that appears to be peanuts, Mr. Axelrod. I mean, do you have any evidence that it's anything other than peanuts?
Well, do you have any evidence that it's not, Bob? Why not simply disclose where this money is coming from, and then all of these questions will be answered?
New York Times says it's neither illegal nor unusual. What about this? Let's bring in our panel tonight. Jonah Goldberg, at-large editor of National Review Online, Juan Williams, news analyst for National Public Radio, and syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer. Charles.
Well, there's desperation, and then there's reptilian desperation, and this is the reptilian variety. This thing just oozes of slime and innuendo, and it's McCarthyite. You make an accusation that the other side is using foreign funds. You don't have a shred of evidence, and you answer like Axelrod, well, what's your evidence? Which is what McCarthy did. You'd raise suspicions about someone, and the objective is not to actually make a case, it's to raise suspicions and leave them hanging out there. Here are the facts. The Chamber of Commerce has 110 overseas affiliates which give annual dues, and it is peanuts. It's 1/2 of 1/10 of 1% of its budget. Also, as the New York Times has written, not me and not other right-wing troglodytes, they've written that this practice of getting dues from overseas associations is not illegal, it's not improper, and it's not unusual. As we heard earlier in the show, the Sierra Club and the AFL-CIO also have overseas affiliates which give dues, and they engage in political activity. The money from the overseas affiliates is segregated and not used in politics. The accusation here is that the money is being used, again, without a shred of evidence. And the irony here is that Obama is a man who ran on hope and change, and this is a pure appeal to xenophobic fear. Secondly, here's a man who said we have to be one with the world. He stands up in Berlin 2 years ago in a rally of swooning, cheering Germans, and what does he say? I'm a citizen of the world. And now his use of the world is as a weapon. The